Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Pequea Valley High School in the heart of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, Amish country here. Beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon in November. The Class 2A state quarterfinal about to unfold in front of you. It is the Radnor Raiders in the all-white versus the ELCO Raiders in the blue and gold. The introductions of the starters happening right now.
Number 6, Matt Martin.
These are two teams that I am not sure have faced each other ever. If they did, it was a long, long time ago. ELCO has been a state AA team for their entire existence. Radnor, for many, many years, a AAA team, dropped down to AA 4 years ago when the state split into 3 classes instead of 2. The ELCO starters being announced right now. Both teams almost entirely comprised of seniors. In fact, as we look down the starting roster for ELCO, every single one of their starters is a senior.
Number 2, Panos.
The Radnor Raiders being announced right now. They are facing their home fans. ELCO's home side considered the far side. They are the away team on the scoreboard.
Number 11, Lenny Cecchio. Wearing number 12, Chris Sargent.
Chris Sargent for Radnor. Of course, we've been following the Raiders all season long.
Number 18, Chris Dambley. Number 20, John Hood. Wearing number 21, Keith Shilcock Elliott. Number 22, Rodrigo Nogales. And your keeper, Tom Gallagher. The coach for Radnor, Kyle Shilcock Elliott.
Well, I don't know if you picked that up on the stadium announcement. We're going to have the national anthem here, and then we'll be underway. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Well, there you have the Radnor Raiders in the scope. This Class AA quarterfinal match about ready to go. The teams are headed out to the field, and the big, big factor today, among many, will be the wind. It is a breezy, breezy day here in Lancaster County. The wind is blowing directly in our face, so it's cross field for the players. And the sun will be setting as time progresses, and that might be a factor for the team who is defending the goal to our right. In the first half, that is going to be ELCO.
Tuesday night at a time and site to be determined. Your officials for today's contest, Jeremy Heist, Kelly Gross, and Scott Roboff.
Well, ELCO finished second in District 3. District 3 is the Lancaster, Lebanon, Harrisburg area. They finished behind Hershey, the number 1 seed. Hershey is still alive. They are playing Lewisburg today. The winner of this match will face the winner of Hershey-Lewisburg in the state semifinal or the Eastern final, depends how you want to look at it. ELCO beat Coughlin out of Wilkes-Barre to get here, 5-1. Radnor, in their opening round state match, played District 12, the Philadelphia City champion. First time they've been in districts. The city of Philadelphia just joining PIAA. Radnor, an easy trip, 9-0 over Franklin Town Charter. The Radnor Raiders, as we said, in the all-white. ELCO in the blue and gold. These are two schools with a long, long tradition of soccer. Radnor is probably slightly larger as a school in terms of overall population as ELCO. Radnor graduating at about 240 a class, ELCO at about 190 a class. One of the big differences between these two teams, ELCO composed almost exclusively of year-round soccer players. That is not the case for Radnor. They only have about 2 or 3 year-round players. Most of their guys are primarily lacrosse players who like to play soccer in the fall for something to do. Here's ELCO right now, working in on goal, and there's Matt Hitson breaking up the challenge from number 6, Matt Martin. Martin, one of the 4 captains for the ELCO Raiders, and here are the Raiders working it down into the box. Crossing ball in behind and played out by Chris Sargent. They tried to get it ahead for Keith Shilcock-Elliott. He was the lone Radnor Raider up top, and remember, both of these teams nicknamed the Raiders, so we'll try to just go with their school names. ELCO and Radnor, they're pretty easy to say. ELCO goes well out to the right side, looking for number 3. That's Andy Sando. Sando curls it in across the box. It gets all the way through and runs out on the near side. Again, the wind helping that one drift on through. It's a throw-in for the Radnor Raiders.
Throw-in, Radnor.
Justin Matthew tries to get it to John Hood, and he was hit outside the bounds of the law, they say, by Nate Keller, one of the twin co-captains for ELCO. Nate and Matt Keller are the 2 guys that the Radnor Raiders are going to have to stop in the scoring parade. But this should be an interesting game. I think both of these teams like to knock it around a little bit. Here's Chris Sargent for Radnor, skating through the midfield, loses it back a little bit. This is an artificial surface here at Pequea Valley. In fact, we just had a state field hockey playoff conclude just before this match. 2 District 3 teams, Warwick and Lower Dauphin. Warwick winning in overtime in field hockey, girls field hockey, of course. As Radnor tries to get it out of their own end, ELCO has had the ball in the opening 3 minutes all the way up at the Radnor end so far. Len Cecchio up into the center circle. Keith Shilcock-Elliott inside to John Hood. He can't handle it. And ELCO pushes it forward once again. Matt Hitson now for Radnor is going to try the long ball, and I guess Radnor's going to try to figure out what impact the wind is going to have as they try to go forward. There's a slide tackle by Keith Shilcock-Elliott on Josh Wright, but it's out off the Radnor Raider. Throw in for ELCO. Eric Harlan with the throw in. Lee Bissett, the junior defender for Radnor. And like we said, ELCO has 11 seniors on the field today. Radnor has a couple of underclassmen. Lee Bissett, one of them. Here's Keith Shilcock-Elliott, hit from behind by Harlan, and it's going to be a foul. Restart for Radnor at the midfield line. The yellow line's in play today on this multi-purpose field. The red lines represent the field hockey lines and, of course, the classic traditional football lines out there. Chris Sargent immediately challenged there by number 9 defensively. That was Josh Wright. The Raiders try to play it into the box. They can't control, but here's Matt Hitson coming forward. Len Cecchio ahead. Panos Panitas immediately surrounded by 3 ELCO Raiders. Cecchio comes out with it, though. He's got Keith Shilcock-Elliott inside. Tried to get it to him. The ball squirts out to Panos Panitas. He plays it into space in the middle of the field. John Hood cannot elude the slide tackle, but here comes Chris Dambley. Back to nice little 1-2 between Hood and Dambley, but the ELCO defense up to the task. Justin Matthew, little foul there, I thought, but nothing called, so we play on. Chris Sargent sends it into the middle of the field. Shilcock-Elliott tried to one-time it. Nothing doing there. Goalkeeper Shane Swanger. Outlets with a roll to the far side. First opportunity for either team, really, there. Lee Bissett held on to it with one touch too long, and now here's Rodrigo Nogales, just a sophomore for the Raiders. He's the youngest player on the field at the moment. Nogales poked it free, but got a little too far ahead, and you can see ELCO, they have obviously a very skilled team. They finished 3rd in their own section in the Lancaster-Lebanon League. Here comes Matt Hitson out of the back, one of the all-year-round players for Radnor. Hitson out wide to Sargent. He's got some room down the right side. He's going to one-time it into the box. Swanger coming out and just waits for this one. Sargent had the entire right side and chose to send it inside. Maybe not the best decision in that particular instance, but maybe take that one deep and cross it. Nonetheless, that's the beauty of this game. The players make the decisions. Coaches really just sit back and let it ride. Chris Dambley. Nogales. Dambley on the move again. Dambley down the left side. Wind keeping that ball inside perhaps as ELCO plays it up the line, and again the wind helping keep things in play. Todd Miller sends it down long, headed out, played out by Matt Hitson of Radnor. It's going to be a throw-in for ELCO. Quickly back in play come the ELCO Raiders. Len Cecchio right there has the ball taken off his foot, and now here's a ball cut back into the top of the box. Justin Matthew gets it ahead. Panos Panitas for Radnor. Keith Shilcock-Elliott is locked up tightly there. I think the ELCO has probably read some of the articles. They know that he's one of the go-to guys for Radnor. Here is Shilcock-Elliott on the move. Down the right side, defensively. A foul committed there by number 9, Josh Wright. Well, Shilcock Elliott, a big body. He does wear a brace on that right arm. He had elbow surgery in May. Really protective at this point.
Coming free kick, Red Raiders.
Chris Dambley will come across the field to take this one. He will be restarting this into a stiff breeze. He's going to have to get a lot of leg on this just to get it into the middle of the field.
Chris Dambley with the kick.
It's a low liner into Checchio. Checchio's loose. Can he get it on goal? There it is. Swanger has it, and they're going to call this one a corner kick. Well, hard to know from our perspective whether it was truly out or not. Swanger made every effort he could to keep it in bounds, but Chris Dambley now at the corner flag.
Chris Dambley with the Red Raider corner kick.
This one a high lofted ball, hits and is up, gets the header on goal. Nogales back, Matthew pops it up high, and there's Swanger right under the bar.
Justin Matthew with the head. Shane Swanger with the Raiders save.
Swanger with the drop kick, outlets Hood at the center circle. Touched it right there was number 13, Dylan Keener. But the Raiders of Radnor are getting on out, and here's Chris Sargent, all kinds of room once again up the right side, but he pulls it back, tries to get ahead to Panitas. Wright had a little trouble with it, but dropped it back, and now Radnor into John Hood. John Hood in the center circle had it poked away. Lee Bassett is going to have to retreat for this one. Lays it back to Tom Gallagher. Gallagher eyes his options, comes out wide. Justin Matthew touches forward. Matthew right up the right flank, inside to Panitas. Panitas has to touch it away quickly for Len Checchio, who hangs onto the ball, gets it back to Panitas. Now Matthew, who stayed forward, out of the back, and he was taken down by number 19, Bryson Brown. Again, all seniors for the ELCO Raiders. Of course, this is do or die. At this point, there's going to be a lot of seniors on one or other of these two teams today who are going to call it a career. Here's Justin Matthew into the corner of the box. Nobody picking him up. Matthew slots it inside, laid back by Sargent, and he was offside. Chris Sargent, just a hair offside, and that's all it takes.
The call is offsides. Free kick, ELCO.
ELCO brings it on out. A low curler headed up at the center circle. This one goes deep. Radnor retreating. Matt Hitson knocks it up. ELCO brings it back down, and they're going to try to turn it up the field. Number 13, Dylan Keener, has it taken away by Matt Hitson, and then it's knocked on out on the near side right beneath us. Again, a brisk breeze blowing in our face, but I think we got our audio tightened up for you so it doesn't interfere with what we're doing here. Nice move by number 11, Nate Keller, one of the twins out there, as we said. The 10 and 11 are the Keller twins. Radnor gets ELCO turned around in the center circle. They come forward. Justin Matthew heads it up. Jeremy Fisher played it across. Here's Shilcock Elliott loose. Is he going to be able to find the spacing? Pull the trigger on this one. He bodies off Keller and then tries a quick turn inside. He's going to hustle back for it, but Matt Keller got it out. John Hood picked it up for Radnor. He's going to launch from distance. Swanger had trouble with it. That was right in the sun.
Shot by John Hood.
I'm not sure Swanger had a good look at that when it skimmed off his fingertips. Again, that shot into a bit of a breeze, so
Chris Dambley will put it in play from the corner.
Chris Dambley at the far corner flag for Radnor. He gets this one up in the air. Matthews there. Shot, go! Justin Matthew redirected that header. It skimmed off the defender on the near post, but Swanger never had a play on it. And the Radnor Raiders, in the 11th minute, up on top, 1-0, Justin Matthew.
number 8, Justin Matthew. The assist to number 18, Chris Dambley. Goalie, assist 18.
Nice to have a stadium announcer here who's keeping track of things, helping keep the fans informed. Long ball down, and let's see what's the call here. Foul way back up the field. ELCO's going to get a restart. Well, Radnor's going to have to be careful here. This is a little happy after a goal. Want to make sure you don't relax too much. Keller floats this one into the box. This one's going to go long past everybody. A goal kick for Radnor. Well, we say the wind is coming straight across the field, but I think, to be honest with you, Radnor's playing into the wind just a hair on the vector. It will be tough for them to move the ball forward in the air, I would think. The same would be true for ELCO in the second half, although a lot of times late in the day the winds do start to die down. There is another match immediately following this. It's a AAA quarterfinal between Westchester Henderson out of District 1 and the District 11 champion Emmaus. That one figures to be a good one. We're going to be right there for that one as well here on ESVN. By the way, I'm Jeff Elliott bringing you the play-by-play on ESVN, the Eastern Soccer Video Network. Glad you could be with us. It's cool and windy, but it's a great day for soccer. Ball played outside, and they say that is off ELCO. Throw in for Radnor. Ball down the line, looking for Panos Panitas. Good defense in there by the ELCO Raiders. Well, this game already showing us that it's a game between two really skillful teams. Should be a real pleasure to watch on this all for the remainder of this one. Justin Matthew up the line. John Hood looking inside, goes down the line for Surgent. Tried to come back to Hood. Panitas he's got Hood in a little slot. Hood's going to take it down deep. He's got Shilcock Elliott across the goal, but it was carved out nicely there. The ball comes back to Surgent at the top of the 18. He cuts it back. Here's a left-footed shot. Deflects inside, and Shilcock Elliott left it for Rodrigo Nogales. He couldn't get to it. Played out by the ELCO defense. Nogales keeps it alive on the far sideline. Still Nogales. And a slide tackle from behind. No call there. Chris Dambley checking in, and they're going to call that one. Well, what did they call? I'm not sure, but whatever it was, Radnor retains possession, and they're going to get a chance to serve this one into the box. Chris Dambley asking for the full 10 yards buffer zone to be enforced. He gets this one up in the air. It's a little deep. Shilcock Elliott nods it inside. Surgeon took it off the chest, laid it back to Shilcock Elliott. He steps forward looking for a lane to shoot. Can't get it, but Surgeon is going to step out wide to the right. He keeps it alive on the near sideline. Megs it through number 9, Josh Wright. Still with control. And then finally, right there was Matt Keller to pull it out for ELCO. Matt Hitson stepping forward hard. He's coming ahead himself, and he was tripped up as he tried to elude number 13, Dylan Keener, but Radnor putting on all kinds of pressure now in the early going. Here's Hitson with the serve. It's a low liner, poked out, but comes out deep to Justin Matthew. He's going to float this one up high. Ball knuckling, it drops inside. Shilcock Elliott had it deflect up. Sargent misses just wide to the right. Chris Sargent had a lot of goal to look at and maybe was a little bit too much of a hurry. He had some time to settle that one. Perhaps he had Shilcock Elliott on his left shoulder. Either one of them could probably have gotten it home. Sargent took the shot, just missed. Here comes ELCO poking ahead. Here's Matt Hitson just in front of Bryson Brown, number 19 on the far side. Hitson knocks it on out. It's going to be a throw-in for ELCO. Bryson Brown. Low line drive into the near post. It's loose. It's shot. Deflected by John Hood, and Hood is going to bring it on out of the box for Radnor. One times it up the field. He was hit from behind. Keith Shilcock Elliott up front, hoping perhaps for an advantage call, but Radnor's going to restart this just outside their 18.
Free kick, Red Raiders.
Ball up to the center circle. John Hood, Lenchecchio inside and had it picked off his feet by number 24. That is Mike Hoyle, a junior. So ELCO has substituted here. We missed that one.
Possession.
Hoyle into the match for the ELCO Raiders. Panos Panitas had a man draped all over his back. That was number 5, Jeremy Fisher, and Panitas couldn't handle it. Ball back to Fisher. He floats it into the middle. Hood gets a touch. Panitas tried to slip it, came back to Fisher. Fisher double teamed in midfield. ELCO comes out with it though. Hoyle plays it wide. Picked off by Nogales. They're going to send Shilcock Elliott long. And there's Keller. Matt Keller defensively to knock it down for ELCO. Well, ELCO is committing the bulk of the fouls in this one, and don't know if that's ordinarily their nature. Like I said, we have not seen ELCO previously this year. We've seen Radnor a lot of times. Hitson pulls it back around Hoyle, takes it into the middle of the field, lays it out wide for Nogales, but that was well read by the ELCO defense on the far side. That was number 17, Todd Miller, who saw the space that Hitson was looking at, and he got there ahead of Nogales. Radnor, however, recollects, and they send it out wide. Sargent is open. Sargent checks it across one time for Shilcock Elliott. He gets around one ELCO defender. Here comes the left foot. There's the shot. Just wide of the near post. Shilcock Elliott trickled it just outside the iron.
Goal kick, ELCO.
Goal kick for ELCO. Picked up by Nate Keller, headed up center circle. Nate Lenchecchio head to Panitas. Panitas tried to slot it outside. Rodrigo Nogales had the whole left side, but Panitas could not get it through. Here's Hood bringing it to the near side. Out wide for Sargent. Not wide enough, though. Cut out by number 9, Josh Wright. Radnor continues now to carry the play after their goal. They continue to apply the pressure. Shilcock Elliott tracking this one down, comes to the near side, and it's going to run on out. Throw in. Josh Wright drops it into Nate Keller. Hitson cuts it off on its way out, though. Hitson still has it and loses it out of bounds.
ELCO.
Ball thrown into the middle of the field for Matt Martin. Well, I'll tell you what, ELCO started out in the first 3 minutes like they were just going to take control of this game, but after Radnor got settled, here goes Matt Martin out wide. Martin takes it across the box, coming in for a shot, perhaps, and there's Tom Gallagher, who touched it, scraped it away, and then covered it up in front of Dylan Keener. Well, I'll tell you, Keener probably a little shocked that he had that kind of room. He had a lot of goal to look at. Radnor quickly ahead. Sargent was on the move, but they didn't get it through the lane. Look at Chris Sargent tracking back to take it off the feet. Shilcock Elliott goes out wide to Hood. Hood is loose on the right side. Wright coming over to mark him up. Wright's going to take it down deep, and the ball's going to run on out, and let's see, they're going to call a foul on John Hood right there. Good defense by Josh Wright, shielding that one. Well, if you went by number of fans, ELCO would be well ahead in this game. They've got almost the entire far side of the stadium filled up with their fans. Radnor, a good turnout, but not quite that extensive. Radnor, little 1-2, Nogales has Panitas on the run. Nogales nudging the ball around, trying to figure out what to do, and wound up having it poked away. Matthew tried to get it long. Panitas tracking back. Finally, Nate Keller plays it out wide, and ELCO breaks out down the right side. Bryson Brown working on Lee Bissett. Bissett, a junior, stays right there, and Bissett cuts it out. Dambly comes long up the field. Wanted Shilcock Elliott out there. Shilcock Elliott came late, almost took it off an unsuspecting Matt Keller, but ELCO got it ahead quickly. Hitson plays it out into space. Sargent's going to have to hustle back to pick it up, and he collides and takes down Josh Wright. It's a restart for ELCO. Almost 21 minutes passed in this first half. Class AA state round of 8. Radnor up on top, 1-0 over ELCO, the District 1 champion over the number 2 seed out of District 3. Low curler inside, and you saw the wind knock that one down, and Tom Gallagher walked on out and covered that one up. Gallagher's outlet punt knocked down by the wind. Sargent knocks it ahead, looking for Panitas, but deep was Matt Keller. Martin leaves it for Miller. Miller and ELCO is going to restart across the back. Keller goes up the right side. Little slip header, but there's Lee Bissett. Chris Dambley quickly turns it up the field. Panitas is running up top right now for Radnor. Keith Shilcock-Elliott is pulled in behind. Panitas up the left side. Has Nogales on the move. Ball cut inside. Shilcock-Elliott not there. It was over Nogales, but not far enough for Shilcock-Elliott. And ELCO brings it to the near side. It's behind Hoyle. And hits and bombs this one long. No Radnor Raiders giving chase on this. Gets all the way into Swanger, no problem. Ball skimmed ahead. Hitson is going to have to turn it out around Hoyle, and he does so. Hitson, one of the fastest players on the Radnor team. Goes long diagonal. There's Nogales. Nogales knocks it down. He's working one-on-one against Todd Miller. Nogales still has the ball, and then Miller holds him up. No whistle. Play on. Wow. A lot is being allowed. A lot of contact has been allowed to go unwhistled, and so now it's going to get ugly unless a referee takes control. Hitson quickly inside to Cecchio. Cecchio did not check behind him, and that's why he didn't know that right on his back was number 11, Nate Keller. Radnor gets it out to the near side. Justin Matthew just keeps it alive inside to Panitas. Panitas has it taken off his feet by Fisher, Jeremy Fisher, and quickly here comes ELCO. They've got numbers right now. Radnor hustling to get back on defense. Wow, no call there, and the ELCO fans screaming for some help from the referee, and they should have gotten it right there, but we play on. Chris Dambley heads it up. Nogales couldn't get a foot to it. Matt Martin now comes to the near side looking for Keener, and this one's going to run on out. Throw in for Radnor. Substitutions for both teams now. We see Jay On entering the match for Radnor, replacing Keith Shilcock-Elliott.
For the Raiders, Josh.
And we see Mike Hoyle going on out for ELCO. Number 2, Josh Miller is in. And there was one other one. We'll pick it up for you through the run of play. I think it's number 3, Andy Sando. Here's John Hood navigating up the field. Miller on his tail. Hood just turns it around when he sees a wave of blue shirts. Here's Cecchio coming up through the middle. He's still got control. Cecchio squirts it outside to Panitas. Panitas has Sargent through, but he puts it behind him, and they say Sargent was offside.
The call was offside.
Well, here's a ball skimmed through. Lee Bissett has position, turns it outside. Keener was on his back. Dambley hustles out wide, hits it off Sando, and it's going to stay right there. ELCO with the throw in. Low line drive throw, and Bissett missed the header. It pops up. There's Tom Gallagher. Well, Tom Gallagher, on a little bit of a streak of his own here, has allowed just 1 goal in 5 district and state playoff matches, and Gallagher gets an awful lot of air under this one. On, up for the header. If he can chase it down, he's got a chance. On, has it poked away at the last moment by Jeremy Fisher, who had to come out of the middle hard
Possession Radnor
to take care of that one.
Territory.
You take this for a second. I feel
Ball popped inside. Checchio down the right side, plays it into space. I think the ELCO Raiders are going to get this one out, but no, On touches it up. ELCO has it inside. Nogales. Dambley with the overlapping run on the outside. He comes up deep. This one is going to run on out, and it's a goal kick for ELCO. Okay.
Goal kick, Raiders.
Well, we'll do the best. I've never had this happen. Just lost my cameraman briefly. Feeling a little under the weather. We'll do the best we can to call this for you. As ELCO comes surging ahead. Doing double duty on the camera and a discussion. Ball is deep. ELCO pops it ahead. Todd Miller. Comes to the near side quickly. A substitute cameraman has come in for me. And let's see, 2 balls on the field. We're going to have to wait for a moment until Josh Wright gets the signal to throw it in. There it is.
Throw in, ELCO.
Down the line they come. Sando knocks it back. Matt Hitson, little misfired on the outlet, but John Hood controls. Hood sends it long forward. Once On coming to the near side, and On just overran it. Boy, I'll tell you, that was close. Eric Harlan defensively stayed with it. Fisher works it ahead. ELCO drops it back. Andy Sando. Sando right up the middle. Lee Bissett reached back and broke it up. But ELCO suddenly starting to get a little bit of possession. Here's a ball sent forward. It's a foot race now. Matt Keller and Jay On. Keller knocked it forward. John Hood picks it up in the center circle. Plays it out wide. Chris Surgeon has the entire right side. He's going to take it down deep. Gets square. He's looking to serve. Surgeon. Well, he made Wright one time, but he didn't this time. Ball still in bounds. Nice job by Wright of keeping it alive. He gets it upfield, but there's Justin Matthew. Len Checchio takes it right up the field. Checchio pushed. He's still got the ball. Checchio shoots. Goal! Len Checchio! A rocket from Len Checchio. Swanger never had a chance. That goal in the 29th minute. Len Checchio was shoved a couple of times on his way into the 18. It was almost like after the last one, the ELCO defenders gave up. Checchio found himself in an empty space, looking at the goal and said, "What the heck?" And he made no mistake on an angle shot there.
Throw in, Radnor.
Down the line, Chris Sargent working on Wright. Sargent cuts it back. Zach Lieb into the match now for Radnor, number 4. Sargent leaves for Checchio. Back to Sargent. Radnor just knocking it around right now. They're going to restart deep through Matt Hitson. Hitson pulls it back around Keener and goes all the way across the field and well behind Chris Dambley. He's going to have to retreat hard to pick this one up.
Red Raider Zach Lieb has entered the contest.
And that allows ELCO to come surging forward, but Radnor picks it up on a little bit of a misstep, and now Len Checchio in the middle of the field. He's primarily a lacrosse player, is Checchio. He's hoping to play college lacrosse, but for at least a little while longer, he's a soccer player. Matt Hitson on Sando. This one out off Hitson. It's a throw in for ELCO. Substitution now, Keith Shilcock-Elliott for Radnor into the match, replacing Rodrigo Nogales, and we see, let's see, somebody just came in for Josh Wright. ELCO with the throw in, it's headed inside, here's a shot, Gallagher knocks it aside! That is why Tom Gallagher is on such a hot roll. He gets down to those low balls as well as anybody. Here's a ball popped up. Gallagher can't get to it. Ball played out. It's down. Radnor finally pries it loose. Keith Shilcock-Elliott on his own half of the field has one man to beat and trips himself up. Well, I don't know that he would have gotten past Jeremy Fisher, but it would have been interesting. Hits in forward at the just shy of midfield line. I keep wanting to say that's the midfield line. It wasn't quite. But ELCO loses it out on the near sideline. Throw in for Radnor.
Throw in Radnor.
Justin Matthew drops it in. Matt Hitson has Bissett inside and decides to use him. Bissett has Dambley but goes right up the middle. Cecchio into the center. Picked up there by Todd Miller. Dambley didn't get the header. Bissett did, though. Right there is Bryson Brown, who's trying to get outside around the right side, but he runs right up the back of Lee Bissett, and it's going to be a restart for the Radnor Raiders.
Free kick, Radnor.
Chris Dambley up the line. ELCO's Todd Miller working on it over there. Dambley gets it back, comes right up top. Shilcock-Elliott tries to get around the defense back there, cannot. And then they say he reached out and held. Restart for ELCO. Long ball into the box. Little skim header. Defoe puts it back in the middle. Radnor trying to pry it on out. Still it's down, bouncing around. Bissett finally grabs it, knocks it out wide, and here's Lee. Lee puts it on the back of Chris Surgeon's heels, but there's Matt Hitson to bomb it out long. Shilcock-Elliott takes it off the abdomen. He was going to try to drop it for Surgeon, but it was poked out from behind by ELCO's Eric Harlan. Matthew into space looking for Lieb, but it fell in between two ELCO players. Hood sends this one long. Shilcock-Elliott on the move. Gathers it in. He's around. No, he's not. Well, he had to reach back to get to the ball, so he lays it out wide for Hood. Hood gets inside. He's loose in the box. There's the shot. Swanger has no problem with this one. Hood didn't get all of that one.
Shot by John Hood.
Long ball forward. Gallagher is going to get to this one easily ahead of all the ELCO Raiders. Gallagher gets a lot of air under this one. Comes to the near side. Surgeon is not going to get to it for Radnor. It's going to be out. Throw in for ELCO.
Throw in blue and gold. Possession, white and black.
Hood takes the throw in from Matthew. Matthew scrapes it back to Hitson. Hitson decides to send this one long. Didn't have a lot of options there, but Keener sends it all the way across the box. Here's ELCO with a chance. There's Dambley, breaks it up, and Gallagher is going to cover this one up. Gallagher again. You see the wind pushing the ball hard towards this side of the field because I don't know what. Never been good at gauging wind speed, but I got to believe it's at least probably close to 20 miles an hour. Lieb pulls it back. Has a trailer. Justin Matthew. Matthew pressured from behind. Sends it down the line. And this one's going to run on out again.
Throw in Raiders. And
this one in and then out. Justin Matthew. Well, we got a little throwing game going on here. Chris Surgeon had trouble seeing that when the sun, as it continues to sink in the west, is going to make it really tough for the team looking right to left to see the ball.
Midfield possession.
Radnor will have to work into that stiff sun in the second half, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Matthew pops it ahead. Fisher got ahead on it. ELCO controls it across the backside. Matt Keller into the center circle. A little miscommunication up there. Chris Stanley stepped in to try to get a foot on it, but staying right after it was Matt Martin. He sent it forward, but Justin Matthew for Radnor knocked it on out.
Josh Wright returns to the ELCO lineup.
Josh Wright back in, replacing Todd Miller for ELCO.
ELCO.
ELCO working down the near side. It's still inbounds. Kept alive there briefly, but there's Matt Hitson playing it up the line. Chris Surgeon keeps it alive. Ahead to Lieb. Lieb takes it inside. Has a runner in front. Jay on, but instead leaves it for Cecchio. Cecchio back into space. Nobody there for Radnor. Chris Dambley heads it up. Jay on cannot get it for the Raiders of Radnor. ELCO has it. Defoe. ELCO drops back and retains possession. Defoe working inside. Hood knocked it aside, deflected it. Hood gets it back. He and Dambley try to figure out what to do, and this one is out off Radnor. Throw in for ELCO. Well, Radnor 2 goals up in the first half. Wants to make sure they don't give up one late in this stanza, I'm sure. Here's a long floater into the box. Gallagher gathers this one up in the chest. What a beautiful vista here at Pequea Valley, looking out across the fields of Lancaster County. Long ball out, headed up by number 14, Eric Harlan. And ELCO pushing it forward once again. Here's Chris Dambley picking it off, and Dambley has some room, sends it up the line, and the wind is not going to keep this one in. Long throw in by ELCO. Dambley up for the header. Couldn't get it. Nate Keller sends it forward. Justin Matthew picks it off. John Hood circles underneath it and hops high over his head. Fisher for Keener, missed him. Cecchio tried to squirt it ahead for Lieb, then Cecchio stays back and gets after it. Lieb has it. Plays it outside for Matthew. Matthew ahead for Shilcock Elliott, but picking it off there was Harlan. Harlan apparently assigned the task of hanging with Shilcock Elliott, and now a substitution for the Radnor Raiders. Rodrigo Nogales coming on in.
Radnor substitute, Rodrigo Nogales.
Ball is out off Shilcock Elliott. Eric Harlan. Throw in down the line. Matthew pops it up. Harlan waits for it. Knocks it down. Lieb got a foot on it. Harlan gets it again. Again, ELCO gets it forward. Lee Bissett chops it out right in front of Keener, then gives it away to the back line of the ELCO defense. Here's Hood with space. Shilcock Elliott waits way too long to play that one. And now substitution for ELCO.
Mike Hoyle returns.
Looks like number 24, Mike Hoyle, back in replacing number 14. I'm sorry, number 19.
Throw in ELCO.
Bryson Brown. Ball headed out on the near side. Justin Matthew in for Lieb. Lieb got a touch on it. Keener has it.
In the first half.
Bissett dumps this one out on the near side. Jay on tried to get involved. Look at the wind curl that ball. Fooled everybody. John Hood got a touch on it. Here's Matt Keller. Keller ahead. Nogales gets a foot on it, sends it long. Shilcock Elliott's going to go over and apply a little bit of pressure, but he's not going to get it away from Matt Martin. Checchio has it now. Ball ahead to Keller. Nogales will challenge. Nogales got a foot on it, but it's out off the Radnor Raider. Throw in for ELCO. Long down the line, Dylan Keener. Leave a set right on his back, and then Keener dumps Dambly, and they are going to call that one. And time has expired in our first 40 minutes of play. Caught us a little by surprise there, but the Radnor Raiders, an 11th minute goal from Justin Matthew on a header off a corner, and then Len Checchio in the 29th minute on a bullet on an angle shot inside the 18. That's all we have up on the board. The District 1 champions find themselves 2 goals in front as these two teams head to the sidelines. We're going to take a little break here on ESVN. I'm Jeff Elliott. Stick around, folks. We'll be back for exciting second half action. Okay, these two wind-blown teams are back on the pitch. 40 more minutes of soccer action coming at you in the state playoffs, Pennsylvania style. The ELCO Raiders versus the Radnor Raiders. ELCO off the opening tap. They've got 2 goals to find if they want to get back in this one. Send it in deep. Radnor looking into a very difficult sun in the second half. The sun sinking in the west as we drift into the late afternoon hour. Here's Keith Shilcock-Elliott, 1 player to beat. Squirts it inside for Panitas. Panitas steps on the ball and loses it. Here's Shilcock-Elliott. Outside, he's going to launch from distance. Swanger takes it on 2 hops. No problem there for the ELCO goalkeeper. Well, Radnor tested him a bit, and I must say that Swanger looked a bit shaky at times in the net. And I'm sure that's a directive here at the halftime, is to keep going at him. Rodrigo Nogales, the sophomore, pokes it inside, gets beyond Shilcock-Elliott, and there's Keller to get it out of harm's way. Here's Hood coming forward. Hood sends it inside, and I think gets a deflection, a corner kick now for Radnor. They get a little bit of the wind in this half. The wind has not slackened at all as the afternoon has moved on. So let's see what happens here. Radnor scored on a corner kick in the first half.
With the Radnor corner kick.
Justin Matthew open to scoring. Here's Checchio. He gets this one up in the air well behind the goal. And a wasted opportunity there for Radnor. Again, the wind blowing this way and a little bit towards the left. So Checchio needed to start that one inside the line. He didn't. The outlet from Matt Keller gets to the center circle. There's Nate Keller, his twin brother. Plays it ahead for Bryson Brown. Lee Bissett breaks it up for Radnor, and then the Raiders of Radnor are pounded out on the far side. We have the Raiders of ELCO as well, in case you just joined us. Now, you know, we were remiss as we went through the first half in mentioning that ELCO is the reigning state Class AA champions. Well, you can understand why. I mean, every player on the field for ELCO at the beginning of the game is a senior. That means they were all juniors last year. You don't know who they lost, but they certainly had an entire starting side available to them as juniors. Sargent scrapes it ahead. He's going to have to chase it himself if Radnor hopes to make anything out of this one. Matt Keller makes sure that they don't. And now here's ELCO with some numbers once again, but there's Lee Bissett to break it up. Shilcock-Elliott slides it outside looking for Rodrigo Nogales. And I'll tell you what, Matt Keller has been awfully busy deep in the ELCO defense today. Matt Hitson plays this one up into the crowd with the left foot.
Sign that fan up.
Throw in for Todd Miller. Miller gets it back. He sends this one goalward, and Tom Gallagher waits for it. That was not at an angle that he had to look at it right in the sun, but if I were the ELCO coach, I would tell my players to not be bashful. Here's Shilcock-Elliott on the move. Keller on his back. Keller comes in and checks it on out. Throw in for the Radnor Raiders. Shilcock Elliott drops it into Len Cecchio. Cecchio wants to dribble, cuts it inside, still has it, needs help. Well, he's got a player right on his back. He might as well get rid of it. He finally does. There's Chris Dambley. Dambley's going to send this one goalward into the wind a little bit. Sargent went up for it, couldn't get it. Hood takes it off the chest. Out wide, Panitas. Panitas got involved, came to Hood. Hood slots it through. Shilcock Elliott was behind the defense. Might have been offsides had that gotten through, but Dambley comes forward and heads it on out. It's a throw in for ELCO. Well, a lot of Radnor alumni here today. We see former head coach Alan Metzger stepping up into the booth, such as it is. The windblown booth. Long ball forward. Tom Gallagher puts the hands up, says, I got it, guys. No problem. Here comes Gallagher's punt. This one squibs off the right side of his foot. Takes a high hop up in the middle of the field. Number 6, Matt Martin. Lee Bissett, who has really done a marvelous job in the back for Radnor since he earned himself a starting spot. Well, I would say it was about 2/3 of the way through the season, but he has been an absolute factor defensively for the Radnor Raiders through the district and state playoffs to this point.
Again.
Throw in for ELCO. Here it comes. Right into the box. Panitas got to it, collided with somebody. Keener drops it back. Here's a ball on goal. Gallagher, I think, had a little trouble seeing that one, so he figured he'd just get the body in front of it.
From Todd Miller.
This time Gallagher gets it right up the field. Headed down by Todd Miller. Comes to the near side and out. It's a throw in for Radnor.
Possession Radnor.
Chris Dambley into Rodrigo Nogales. Nogales in traffic. Holds on to it and then hits and plays it away. It's a throw in for ELCO.
Raiders.
Cecchio knocked inside. Here's Panitas. Panitas ahead looking for Shilcock Elliott, but right there was Harlan defensively for ELCO. Ball squirted ahead and passed forward. Sargent and Keller. Keller just knocks it in between the two charging Raiders. Ball played forward. Harlan right there defensively. Justin Matthew picks it off at midfield for Radnor, though. And now Len Cecchio. John Hood. Cecchio in traffic. Still has it. Poked away. Hood picks it up and he's going to try the left side. Hood has Shilcock Elliott inside and did not get around the ball. Shilcock Elliott had all kinds of room, and down well behind the play is senior Matt Hitson, way back up the field. And we're going to stop play for a moment and have to take a look at Matt Hitson. I'll tell you what, if he has to leave the field for any length of time, that would put a little additional pressure on Radnor. Hitson has been a giant back there. I'll tell you what, while they tend to Matt Hitson, we're going to take a little break here on ESVN. Your score, about 6.5 minutes into the second half, Radnor still remains up on top, 2-0 over top of ELCO in Class AA state quarterfinal action. Stick around, we'll be right back. Okay, we are back underway. Matt Hitson helped off the field. Looked like he was navigating pretty well by the time he got to the sidelines, but that does bring on senior defender number 13, Chris McGaw for Radnor. Ball played out wide. Here come the ELCO Raiders. They take it into the box. ELCO is in deep. It's played back. There's Keener. Cut out by Chris Dambley. What a save there, because ELCO had a player wide open at the near post. Dambley got it out of there, though. Ball up the line. Radnor's Keith Shilcock Elliott can't quite pry it loose. Matt Keller a little nonchalant on that one. Did not realize Shilcock Elliott was lurking, and had that ball not squirted inside, Shilcock Elliott had a free walk home to goal. Hood plays it in front of Cecchio. Cecchio in through. Shilcock Elliott has got it. He's going to go with the left foot. There it is. He's going to miss just wide again.
Shot by Keith Elliott.
Well, Shilcock Elliott has had two almost identical opportunities, one in each half, and both of them
Goal kick.
have been just a hair wide. ELCO heads this one back to their own end. Panitas overran it. Panitas, if he's guilty of anything times, is just getting a little too excited. He's a very skillful player with a lot of energy, but sometimes he just forgets to do the basics. ELCO pushing it forward. Lee Bissett trying to make it tough. And a foul called against Radnor right there. It's going to be a restart for ELCO, and they're going to get a chance to put this one on Gallagher. And Gallagher's going to have to look into the sun a little bit, but I don't think he's going to have to look right at it. This ball almost perfectly in the middle of the field. Radnor will set up, looks like 4 people in the wall. We'll see who's going to take this for the ELCO Raiders. We see Matt Keller,
ELCO.
Nate Keller, Matt Martin, a bunch of 3 captains here. Martin runs over it. Here's the shot. Nope, they're going to leave it for the 3rd player. It hit the wall. The wall just held its ground. And all kinds of bodies flying. We play on. Ball sent forward. It's going to be Panitas against Fisher. Panitas has the speed. Panitas is going to get in. He's in behind Fisher. Here comes Swagger. Goal! Panos Panitas! Well, I'll tell you what, if you're an ELCO fan, you got a beef, because that all started from a non-call deep in Radnor's end when it looked like there was a collision, and the whistle did not blow. The ball was sent long forward. ELCO pressing players ahead because they're down 2 goals, are going to find themselves one deeper now. Panos Panitas in the 50th minute. Ball deep in the box. ELCO with a chance. Gallagher covers it up on the crossing ball. Well, what makes this a little bit more surprising is that this is a very, very skillful ELCO team. Here's a ball through, looking for Shilcock Elliott. He got a foot on it, but sent it the wrong way. Panitas coming forward, though, has Sargent. Sargent out wide to the right, is going to try it himself. Josh Wright says no.
Throw in Radnor.
Ball down the line. ELCO controls. Matt Keller sends it long. Chris Dambley got the first touch on it. Surging ahead, Todd Miller. Ball sent long into the corner. Nogales and Shilcock Elliott on the move. Shilcock Elliott pulls up, realizing the ball's going to run on out. Long throw turned in off the chest, but here's Chris Dambley for Radnor. He's going to go long diagonal looking for Chris Sargent. Wynn holds the ball up. Josh Wright gets the first touch. Sargent's going to stay right on his back. Wright alertly turns it inside to Keller, and the ELCO Raiders navigate out of their own end with some authority right there. Bissett breaks it up. Shilcock Elliott slow getting back. And they call Shilcock Elliott off, even though he wasn't anywhere close to the ball. He wasn't even going to attempt to play it, and they blew the whistle anyway. Well, Radnor with a couple of substitutions up at the midfield line. ELCO came in with an overall record. Here's Shilcock Elliott, and he could not get past Keller. Panitas hustling across as ELCO bombs it into the goal area. Tom Gallagher waits for this one and finally takes it on a second bounce. ELCO came into this match today having finished third in their section of the Lancaster-Lebanon League. They, like Radnor, kind of got it going in districts. Radnor finished 7th in the Central League out of 10 teams and had a 7-8-3 regular season record. First time in almost 20 years that Radnor's regular season record was not 500 or better. And yet, once the district playoffs began, Radnor kind of got it together. They came in today at 12-8-3. ELCO at 20-7-1. The difference, Radnor only played 18 of their allotted 20 games in the regular season. They got rained out, and I think ELCO has to play more matches in their conference playoffs and district playoffs to get forward. So that's why ELCO has a few more total games on their ledger. Here's a long ball. On is in. Swanger's out. And Swanger gathers it in right in front of Jay On.
Jay Swanger.
Well, I still think ELCO is not going to leave this game without a goal. They're too good not to score. Whether they can score 3, though, may be a different matter. This Radnor defense, again, has yielded just 1 goal in 5 district and state playoff matches to this point. And so far, they've got ELCO shut out for
Free kick.
55 minutes here. Well, 54. Chris Damley now with the restart for Radnor. High curler across the box, headed up and out by Keller. Matt Keller comes to the near side. Well, as we said, a Class AAA match immediately following this one between Westchester Henderson and Emmaus. That's going to be another outstanding match. And as this match is going on, the Downingtown West boys, the number 1 seed out of District 1, are still engaged, as are the Downingtown West girls. So a lot of District 1 teams still involved late in the state playoffs. Remember, the winner of this match advances to play the winner of Hershey and Lewisburg in the state semifinal. That will be Tuesday night somewhere.
Radnor.
They usually wait to see who wins these matches to figure out where they're going to play them. On for Radnor. ELCO Prize gets it out, but Hood is right there. Here come the ELCO Raiders. Nate Keller. Long ahead, Justin Matthew takes it off his chest. Played out wide, Josh Wright. Chris Sargent hustling back. Look at Chris Sargent, took the ball off of Wright and then he played it right back to him. Not sure who he was playing that back to be honest with you. But no matter, it's a throw in for Radnor.
Possession, Radnor.
Zach Lieb, Sargent. This went out off ELCO. Ball up high, On got the head to it. It goes all the way deep to Keller. He launches this one towards the Radnor end of the field. Bryson Brown got up initially. Chris Stambley touched it on out. It's going to be a throw in. That should be a throw in for ELCO. Should be an ELCO throw in there, but
throw in Radnor.
And well, I'll tell you what, if the referees don't start getting on the whistle a little bit, this one could turn ugly. I think ELCO in the district final lost to Hershey 3-1. Don't know what kind of a game that was. Chris Dambley keeps it alive for Radnor. Damley just chips it into the box, but Swanger hustles out in front of Nogales. And Radnor unable to generate a shot in that situation. Keener ahead. This ELCO team is still playing at full speed. Dambley hustling back. Turns it into one of the ELCO players, and Chris McGall gets it up the field. Here comes John Hood. John Hood having himself a pretty strong day today for Radnor. And they're going to call ELCO for the push there as Hood tried to get around. Radnor quickly restarts. Len Cecchio has it. Nogales goes inside. Cecchio sends it in towards the box. There's Surgeon. He got a touch on it. On! Had it knocked away by one of the ELCO players, I thought, but no, it's going to be a goal kick. Couldn't tell whether On hit that or one of the ELCO players hit it. It was a screen on the play, but
ELCO substitute.
ball in the center circle.
Charles DeSantis.
Number 15, Charles DeSantis into the match. DeSantis, just a junior. Head coach Mike Siegfried looking for some combination to break through this Radnor defense. We see Mike Hoyle into the match as well.
Red Raider.
Number 24 for ELCO. Ball forward. On can't get to it, but it's turned out by Harlan. We see Keith Shilcock Elliott and Penis Panitas up at the Radnor sideline. They'll be back in a little bit. Quite a difference in coaching experience between these two teams. Siegfried has been with ELCO since 1986. Play the advantage. That's the referee's call, and not a bad one there, but ball sent forward, and Keller heads it aside. Matt Martin upfield, but ELCO unable to retain possession. McGall brings it out to the near side. Chris Dambley. Dambley up the line. Nogales touches it inside, looking for help. Just touches it to Hood, then to Dambley. Radnor has just knocked the ball around so well today. Actually, ELCO has done the same. This is a very, very composed and experienced ELCO team. Hoyle down deep. Cuts it back at the 18, but there's Hood defensively. Hood still has it for Radnor. Plays it up and out.
Would a representative from Westchester, Henderson, any mass please report to the press box with your starting lineups?
Here's the throw in. It's going to be Matt Keller. Keller gets it long into the box. It's popped up. Cecchio gets a second touch. Dambley bombs it out. Jay on one-on-one if he turns, but instead he leaves it for Zach Lieb. Lieb will play it out wide, and the ELCO defense will get to recover up the field. Dambley ahead. On has it. On tried to heel it, and it was out off number 11, Nate Keller. Shilcock Elliott and Panitas into the match for Radnor. John Hood and Rodrigo Nogales exit the field. Ball into On. On has Panitas. Panitas can't get to it right there. Number 15, Charles DeSantis. And this went out off Radnor. DeSantis with the throw for ELCO. And, well, I don't know. Given what else has been let go, I didn't see Matt Martin do anything there, but he did enough to get a yellow card on this one. Well, for their part, I mean, we don't see the ELCO staff going crazy over there. I mean, all credit to them and to Radnor's staff as well for keeping things under control. Whether they agree or disagree with whatever's going on out on going on out on the field, they have kept it zipped up. And let's face it, the referees are just part of the game. You have to go with the flow, whatever it is. So Matt Martin out momentarily with a yellow card. Here's Chris Dambley restarting for Radnor. Right into the box. Shilcock Elliott got a little bit of a upper arm on that one. That one floated just over his head. Swanger, a drop kick, comes to the near side. This one's going to run on out. Dambley with the throw, puts it in front of Panos Panitas. Panitas shoulders it forward to himself. Tried to pull it back, and Sando, what am I talking about? Andy Sando just shielded Panitas off. The outlet to midfield, Lieb got up for it. Harlan played it out to the far side, and I think the wind's going to hold this one up. It does. Hoyle has it, double teamed over there by the Radnor Raiders. Little scrum, and they're going to call this in favor of ELCO. Ball touched inside. Number 2, Josh Miller had a go at it. Here's Radnor outlet, and Keith Shilcock Elliott has it. Harlan on his back, and Harlan takes him down. Shilcock Elliott launches this one inside. It gets under the feet of Sargent. The ELCO Raiders play it back to Matt Keller. As I said, he's been one of the busiest players on the field, and if you're an ELCO fan, that's not good because that means it's been in your end a lot. Here's Dylan Keener working on Chris McGall. McGall cuts it out. McGall clearly got the ball. Now that was a foul there, though, by Panitas. Restart by ELCO. They get it inside. Keener had it lined up, but just up to slip it off of him was, I believe, Lee Bassett. ELCO with a corner kick. They haven't had many of these today. In fact, this may be their first corner kick of the match. I'm not sure. If they had another one, that was all they had. Here is the corner. It's curling in. Gallagher just sort of volleyballed that one away. Here's a shot from distance. It's down. Shilcock Elliott bombs this one up the line. And ELCO will just watch this one run on out. But they're going to have to start it deep in their own end. Ball thrown back into Swanger, who plays it out to Keller. Matt Keller. Well, the wind starting to die down just a bit as the sun drops on down. At least that's the way it seems to me. And that may bode well for the second match, because as the wind dies down, the sun goes down and it gets a little bit colder. Maybe it was just temporary, I don't know. Matthew defensively for Radnor. ELCO still working it. Sando's going to get a chance if he can square up here, but Justin Matthews not going to make that easy. Wright comes forward. Panitas back helping defensively. Panitas goes down, play on. The ball's still alive, and now finally a delayed whistle. And what do we have? A corner kick, I think. Yep. Corner kick opportunity now for ELCO.
Corner kick, Raiders.
High ball across the box. Keener had it lined up, but it came out deep. Todd Miller will try. Shilcock Elliott up high, and he was undercut by Bryson Brown.
Free kick, Radnor.
Chris Dambley to restart it. Up high, Panitas couldn't get it. Nice defensive header by Josh Miller. Zach Lieb has it for Radnor. He's going to try to drop it deep, I think. No, he plays it ahead for Sargent. Sargent hit from behind by right. No call. Keener out wide. Lieb a set. Just pokes it on out. Now ELCO with a substitution. Radnor with a couple as well. Rodrigo Nogales and John Hood coming back on for the Radnor Raiders. Len Checchio and Jay On headed off, and here's the throw, and boy, we haven't even cleared the field. And here's a goal! Off the throw in by Matt Keller. We didn't think ELCO would stay off the board. With 13 and a half minutes left, I'm not sure who got that one. We don't have the benefit of instant replay, but Gallagher came out to play it, and he ran under the ball and missed it completely.
Number 2.
It was number 2, Josh Miller. I'll tell you what, Miller was ducking too. It just kind of hit off his back and went on in, but that goal counts as much as a bullet, you know, from 20 yards. So ELCO pulls one back, and Radnor is just going to have to get their game back on and keep ELCO off the board. If ELCO were to get one more, it could get interesting. And they are going to be energized. Don't kid yourself. That goal coming in the 67th minute. And we're going to see Len Checchio back in for Zach Lee. Well, Radnor head coach Kyle Shilcock-Elliott. We were talking about Mike, head coach Mike Siegfried's been with ELCO, we believe, since 1986. Head coach Kyle Shilcock-Elliott for Radnor was only 6 years old back then. He's in his second year at age 24, one of the younger coaches in the state. And he has put all his frontline troops back on the match to see if they can lock this one down. ELCO, of course, as we said, a very skillful team. Here's Matt Keller. Radnor fronted that throw. Ball is down loose. Still loose, and this one is going to trickle on in and run on out. It's going to be a goal kick for Radnor.
Where's the corner kick?
Chris Dambley.
Goal kick, Radnor.
ELCO heads it up in the center circle. Ball comes deep. Chris McGall plays it up high for the Radnor Raiders. Keith Shilcock-Elliott shoulders it off. Rodrigo Nogales. Nogales still with control. Poked away. Nogales is loose at the edge of the box. Here comes Panitas, and as Panitas tried to lay it, as Nogales tried to lay it in, right there was Matt Keller to break it up.
Possession, Red Raiders.
Ball down the line, off Nogales. It's a throw in for ELCO.
Throw in, ELCO.
Harlan down the line. Dambley missed it. McGall got it, and they say it's off McGall. Throw in for Keener.
ELCO.
And offsides right there was number 2, Josh Miller. Got a little excited, ran right on through the defense. Well, there's a reason he was so wide open.
Free kick, white and black.
Dambly goes long up the field. Shilcock Elliott takes it off the chest, pulls it down. Run over from behind, nothing called. And ELCO plays it out on the far side. Justin Matthew lets it run on out for Radnor. Rodrigo Nogales going off the field for Radnor. Jay on back in.
Throw in Radnor.
Panitas. A lot of blue shirts over there, but ELCO can't control it. Radnor's going to get another throw in. We see Scott Gerland warming up on the sidelines for Radnor. He's the designated guy to take it to the corner flag if we get down low on time. Bissett plays it out to Matthew. Matthew sets it up, sends it long down the line and out. Throw in for ELCO. Ball popped up and inside, played forward by Matt Martin. And here's McGall. McGall pokes it ahead. Sargent has it out wide. Brings it inside ahead to Shilcock Elliott, but missed him. Matt Keller was right there. And Matt Keller's going to bring it up himself. Panitas is going to track him. He sends it into the corner looking for Keener. Chris McGall is on him. Keener turns and gets square. And he checks it off McGall for a corner kick. Well, look out. If ELCO can knock one home here, this one could get dicey.
Matt Keller with the ELCO corner kick.
This one goes long and deep. Played back into the middle. Checchio knocks it down. Keener takes a shot and misses wide to the left. Goal kick for Radnor. Rodrigo Nogales is back in. Jay on is off for the Radnor Raiders. Looks like head coach Kyle Shilcock Elliott just wanted to talk to Nogales for a moment. Dambly floats it up high. Sargent can't get to it. ELCO does. Sando, but there's Matthew. Matthew sends it up the line. Sargent is going to challenge Matt Keller, and Keller just dumps it out wide. Picked up by Josh Wright. ELCO working up the left side. Again, no foul called. Well, they're pretty much not calling it in either direction, so I guess if you look for consistency, you've got it. May not be the kind of consistency you're looking for, but Shilcock Elliott breaking through traffic, just muscling his way through, and then went tumbling, but he's not going to get a call, not the way it's been called today. Goal kick for ELCO. Radnor in the middle of the field. Harlan heads it up. Panitas has it, working through traffic. Sargent tries to get it back across the field. The spinner comes to Hood. Hood sends it forward. Shilcock Elliott's way off sides.
Free kick, ELCO.
Matthew up the right side. This one gets deep. Sargent comes ahead, just missed it as Jeremy Fisher played it forward for ELCO. Now Sando. Bissett took a shot at it, missed it, but two Radnor Raiders on Sando right now. Sando with control, but Matthew knocks it on out, and here we go. Here comes Matt Keller with that big throw. This is how the ELCO Raiders scored their goal, off a Matt Keller throw. This one a low line drive into the box, off the post and in! I think the referee has it. He's called it a goal. No, it should not be a goal. It didn't touch anybody. I'd have to take a look at the replay. If that did not touch anybody, it would not count. That throw came all the way across, hit the post, and went in. It did not touch anybody. That is not a goal. That should not be a goal. Head coach Kyle Shilcock-Elliott has a beef, and he wants to talk to the referee. You cannot score directly off a throw-in. If it did not hit anybody, it is not a goal. And now the referees are going to have a conference. Well, the referees are not going to wave this one off, but so this is the second goal. I guess we got to give it to Matt Fisher, or I'm sorry, to Matt Keller, with just over 6 minutes left in this one. Well, that's the second controversial goal we've seen this season, almost identical. Long ball forward, Sargent circles under it for Radnor. Josh right on him. Sargent's going to head to the corner flag. Well, it might be a little too early to try to salt this one away for Radnor. That's a lot of time to take off the clock. And this one knocked out by the ELCO Raiders. Well, we'll have to take a look at the replay on that one. I think that Radnor might have a beef on that one. I don't think anybody touched that throw in.
At the clock! Jeez! Come on!
Ball thrown in deep. Shilcock-Elliott takes it to the corner, and now he's going to sit on it. Ball squirts free. Shilcock-Elliott just shielding it, and they say it's a goal kick.
ELCO.
Long ball to the middle of the field. Justin Matthew out wide. ELCO sends it long, looking for Keener. Bissett right there. Ball knocked out, and it's a throw-in for Radnor.
The official scoring on the ELCO goal has been credited to number 13, Dylan Keener.
It's been credited to Keener, but unless he touched it, it's not his goal. Bissett and Keener, a heavy-duty collision, and no call. Here's Panitas. Panitas out wide to Nogales. Nogales loses his footing. Ball played in the middle of the field. Bissett. And here's ELCO. ELCO with numbers. They send it out wide to the right. On the move is Josh Miller. Miller sends it across and behind the frame. Goal kick for Radnor.
Goal kick, Radnor.
Chris Dambley for the Radnor Raiders. They've got 3.5 minutes to see if they can keep ELCO out of the net. ELCO will start sending everybody forward. Here's Tom Gallagher, well off the line. And Gallagher, no problem with that one. His punt out to midfield. John Hood for Radnor sends it out wide. Sargent and Shilcock-Elliott. Sargent has it. He's going to send it ahead to the corner. Shilcock-Elliott on the move. Harlan is there, and it's played out by Shilcock-Elliott. Goal kick.
Goal kick, ELCO.
ELCO, of course, playing with desperation at this point. Radnor having trouble looking into that sun. Ball played deep. Chris Dambley circles around behind it. Cuts it back in front of Josh Miller, and now Dambley has room to take it. He's going to send it long down the line. It's going to run on out. Now you got to play the wind on those. Play it a little bit more central and let the wind blow it to the sidelines. Panitas heads it forward. Panitas has it. Touches it ahead, and Nogales has it. Will he take it into the goal? He will. Panitas is there. Panitas, Swanger in behind Panitas, covers it up.
Shane Swanger comes out to break up the flag.
Swanger outlets. Quickly, Delco comes forward. Matthew cuts it out. Nate Keller. And a foul called on Chris Sargent that time. Quickly put back in play by ELCO. Lee Bissett misses. Sando is in. He takes it across the goal. Handball. That's a red card. That should be a red card right there. Well, I guess it was out before it was handballed, but the Radnor Raiders inside 90 seconds. Keith Shilcock Elliott sends this one out to the midfield line. Headed wide, Chris Sargent tracks it down. He should just chunk it up the line to this. And Matt Keller quickly retreating, picks it up.
Take it down.
Radnor should probably challenge. Ball sent inside, Shilcock Elliott missed it, McGall has it. Keener knocks it down, but there's Bissett. And a foul on Keener. Well, Radnor's going to take their good sweet time getting to this one. And now they're going to stop the clock, and Keith Shilcock Elliott's going to get a yellow card for delay of game. That's his second yellow. He's going to have to go off. Well, Chris Dambley will take this. He's got just as strong a foot. "33 seconds and change left in this one. Got perhaps a little bit more exciting than Radnor wanted it to. And here's Chris Dambley. Dambley pops it up. Sargent there. Sargent's going to challenge. So is Panos Panitas. Is out at the midfield line. Long down, Lee Bissett sends it up the field. Not much time left for ELCO now. Bissett heads it straight up. On heads it straight up. Here comes Matt Keller. It's checked out wide. Keller working. Down deep, sends it back across. Hood pops up. That's going to do it. The Radnor Raiders advance to the state semifinal for the first time since 1980. 24 long years for Radnor.
And your final score, the Radnor Red Raiders 3, the ELCO Raiders 2.
Well, it got exciting in the second half. ELCO pulled 2 goals back after Radnor built a 3-0 lead.
For Radnor, Justin Matthews, Lenny Checo, and Panos Panitas.
You might be able to hear the stadium announcer there, but
You now will advance to a contest on Tuesday.
we hope you enjoyed this one here on ESVN, the Eastern Soccer Video Network. Quick wrap. Radnor in the 11th minute, Justin Matthew on a header off a corner. 29th minute, Len Checchio on a bullet inside the 18. 2-0 at halftime in favor of Radnor, the District 1 champions. Radnor built a 3-0 lead when Panos Panitas got loose on a 60-yard breakaway. And then in the waning minutes, ELCO pulled first one back through Josh Miller on a long throw-in that was deflected in, and then a second long throw-in, and that one's still the subject of some controversy. It went in favor of ELCO. Dylan Keener given credit for that goal. It was 3-2. ELCO continued to apply the pressure to the very end, but the Radnor Raiders held on to pull down a 3-2 victory in this state quarterfinal in Class AA. Radnor advances to the state semifinal, the Eastern Final, next Tuesday against the winner of Hershey and Lewisburg. We hope you can be there with us, but we want to take this opportunity as these teams head for the head for the stand back to the cars to head on home. I want to thank my cameraman Sean McKenna. I'm Jeff Elliott. This is ESVN, the Eastern Soccer Video Network. Once again, your final score: Radnor 3, ELCO 2. So long, folks.